I really want to be here. Because being from hardware domain, there are very few groups where you can actually go and talk.
Who understand you.
Who understand you. I can't tell you how many hundreds of meetings, TIE, NCR, investor meet, हम कहाँ नहीं गए हैं, and it's almost seems like you're alien. Nobody understands you, and it really demoralizes. कि आप क्या कर रहे हो, does it make sense, कि revenue है या मतलब क्या पूछते हैं, like हम hardware के बंदे तो बन ही नहीं रहे. So I actually, so when Sakshi and Vinay reached out to me, I always make time because it actually helps me to, it's like your community where your brothers, they actually know what you're talking.
Going through the same thing.
Yeah, and actually किसी को पता नहीं होता कि phone, computer नहीं बनता है यहाँ पे. And then their expectation from us is कि तुम्हारा DJI Phantom जैसे drone होना चाहिए. I'm like यार उनको 30 साल लगे हैं. And you get compared to Israelis. And I think this whole conversation जहाँ भी hardware की होती है, this piece is missing. What Weber said, कि Silicon Valley को कितना time लगा, decades लगे हैं, half a century लगी है. And I think in this Indian mindset, because I don't hesitate anymore to say, we become consumers, not producers. So we are actually forgotten कि process क्या है, R&D cost क्या है, consumer बहुत बाद में आते हैं. बनाना पहले है, and I think it's deeply not appreciated at all. So platform, and I really see ZeroOhm and we really grow because there are people like us जो truly want to associate, truly want to voice, and जब हमारे पास टाइम नहीं होगा तो भी हम आएंगे because हमें पता है कि ये जर्नी में क्यों जरूरी है, and हमें पता है कि हम अकेले नहीं कर सकते, पूरा कम्युनिटी चाहिए. A Silicon Valley cannot be started by one drone company, and when I see more and more drone companies, I don't see them as competitors. And actually, हमारे drone community में everybody is connected by pain is the joke that goes around. So we really, there are more than 100 drone companies. They all help each other, believe it or not. So coming back to the challenges of prototyping, my usual question is how much time you got. Because there are very many. If I get started, तो पूरा रात तो दिन ही निकल जाएगा. So to me, what was a shocker and why I came into drone was that I graduated with master's degree in PhD from US. I had a good fortune of working in US for 2.5 years. And after coming back, I had joined IIT Delhi. And so you are coming back to your country after 10 years and you are into Premier Institute. By name उसका नाम ही Indian Institute of Technology है, and the realization is कि उतना technology नहीं बन रहा है. We are very much into theory. Lot of students do not really know PCB बनता कैसे है. Challenges तो दूर की बात है. They are really not even interested कि PCB में क्या क्या component जाएंगे. And when I ran into my co-founders Tanmay and Anuj, who were graduates of IIT Delhi in engineering physics. They were just fresh graduates and we used to run together for Delhi half marathon. And a constant conversation यही होता था कि बच्चे graduate हो रहे हैं, Google, Microsoft जा रहे हैं. But what about the dependency that we're creating? And they were already had incubated at IIT with BotLab. And I had joined them 6 months after the BotLab was made. And this really bothered me coming from US, being Indian. I am sitting in Indian Institute of Technology and never been there before. Now I live there. My home is still in IIT Delhi because my husband is a physics professor. And it really fundamental level पे बहुत pain होता है कि workshop बहुत अच्छी नहीं है. Students को आप कैसे excite करोगे? And जो professors हैं उन्होंने पूरे life PCB बनते कभी देखा नहीं है. How are they going to teach you? And these professors are all PhDs from abroad, so intellectually you cannot question them. IIT Delhi had the best brains in terms of student and faculty, but somehow there was very little appreciation for hardware building. Not only appreciation, people looked down on you. So my pain point with prototyping is nobody understood our pain. If we go to FITT, which was an incubation center, कि हम हार्डवेयर हैं, हमारे को ज़्यादा टाइम चाहिए, हमें ज़्यादा रिसोर्सेज चाहिए. And we were literally several times thrown out of IIT. You're taking too long time, you don't have a commercial model. And when we say we need access to 3D printer, CNC, water jet cutting, वो कुछ भी नहीं है. And in fact, abhi now because we screened a lot, we tried a lot, and now they are bringing. But अभी मुझे लगता है कि वो your generation behind. जब आपको realization होता है कि ये चाहिए already, you know, the system is gone 10 years ahead, फिर आप struggle कर रहे हो. So I used to go to these exhibitions like smart city exhibitions where I ran into win it, and I would go to each and every stall. My question था कि आपने इसमें से कितना इंडिया में बना है? And very blatantly we have these exhibitions where entire system is actually made abroad and is brought in, and the scale is sickening. आप बहुत सारे exhibitions में जाओ, especially electronic products, and very bravely people say कि हमने इंडिया में बनाया है. Sometimes the casing is just done in India, or painting is done in India. Very shamefully, मैं आपको बता दूँगी. तो in that you start building something from scratch, where the expectation is you have to meet a US standard and Israeli standard. For example, drones में अभी certification क्या है ये तो पता ही नहीं है. I can't sell system. कहाँ पे मैं, you know, like there, it's just starting. But the good thing is what we have seen. From Prime Minister to the entire country starting to support, especially drone. Suddenly gotten a blessing of Prime Minister himself. Last year in July, they opened up the policies, and now it's no longer illegal to fly a drone. 250 grams का है, तो आप कहीं भी operate कर सकते हैं. And because of that policy, now I'm able to do a drone show in Bombay, Gujarat, Bihar, and I'm actually able to make a revenue. We're creating revenue now. Shark Tank is inviting us. So a lot of doors have opened up, but the struggle, I would hate to admit, are still there. Because the scale में help चाहिए, and somebody has to actually absorb the cost. तो R&D cost है, कहीं ना कहीं से आना ही पड़ेगा. Respect from हम to some extent we could survive, I always say. Is also because of IIT Delhi. Because IIT Delhi, even though we had difference of opinion, at some intellectual level they understood that what we're doing might have value, so they didn't kick us out. The little bit funding they kept giving us a period of 5 years, and we could sustain. But the struggle तो मैं बोलूँगी बहुत है. And I think एक और बात है कि startup cannot figure it out all by itself. डिजाइन में क्या फ्लॉज हैं, you need partners to tell you, Napino or somebody, कि आप जो सोच रहे हो. Because हम जो सोचते हैं जब 3D प्रिंट करते हो इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स डालते हो कुछ और ही बन जाता है. And then you have to go back, your cost goes, and then next अगर एक प्रोटोटाइप जैसे I would call our current system only like level 1 only, even though it's going internationally. We are now working on level 2. उसके भी स्ट्रगल है. अभी हम डिजाइन कर रहे हैं, वी डोंट हैव एक्सपीरियंस, वी डू नॉट नो हू टू टॉक इन इंडिया. Weber talked about that you need to look good, and I've gone to VVTN for that purpose. That you know I need my system to, and I've gone to design houses in Manesar. But उतना easy नहीं है access, really नहीं. And अभी हम level 2 में भी struggle कर रहे हैं because I want my system to look as fancy, as sexy as French system. But I really don't know where to go. Where like I'm still a startup, I still do not have access to the kind of resources that you need. But thankfully we are able to at least sustain ourselves. We are making revenue and at least look at the raising funds and build a team. But रास्ता अच्छा है but लंबा है, बहुत लंबा है, just the beginning.